Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. This week I've got something a little bit different. It's a recipe for my Rocky Road cake. You can also call it a biscuit cake or a fridge cake. It's all pretty much the same thing. Lots of things thrown in and a little bit of ganache to make a yummy Moorish snack. You can make yours in any sort of container you like. I'm only using a cake tin because I'm going to be decorating this to look like a Christmas cake, and you can see that tutorial by checking the links in the description box. So firstly, I've just grabbed any old cake tin. This is a 5-inch round, and I now want to make a tall collar so that my finished size will be that of a small 5-inch cake. All I've got here is some laminated sheets of card because I don't have any acetate, and we're literally just making this up as we go along here. To keep these in place, I'm just using some little clips at the top to finish my round collar. For the ingredients, I've got 200 grams of unsalted butter and double the amount of chocolate, so that's 400 grams of milk chocolate. You want to gently melt each of these in the microwave. Just make sure not to overheat your chocolate. You only want it so that it's just melted enough to remove any lumps. So here we have our melted chocolate and our melted butter. And to this, I'm going to add a little bit of flavouring. This is butter rum flavouring and the brand is Loran Oils. These are incredibly concentrated, so I'm just adding a little dribble here to the butter. I'm then tipping my butter into the chocolate, and I'm not going to lie, it's going to look absolutely disgusting as you start stirring this, but keep going and it will eventually come together. You're essentially just making a butter ganache, but you can of course make this with cream if you prefer. So here it is now fully mixed in, and we're just going to place that to one side whilst we get our dry ingredients ready. So in this bowl I have roughly 200 grams of broken up digestives. Here you can use whatever biscuit you prefer. Rich tea works just as well. I'm then throwing in some mini marshmallows, roughly about half a bag, which is 100 grams. And then to make it festive to go along with our rum, I'm adding in some dried cranberries. Again, roughly half a packet, about 80 grams. Traditionally, Rocky Road is usually made with raisins, but here we're adding cranberries and rum flavouring for that Christmas twist. You just want to stir the whole thing together until everything is covered in your ganache, and then I'm going to spoon it into the mould. At the bottom of this tin, I have a circle of greaseproof paper to make sure it doesn't stick to the tin. I'm adding it in bit by bit and then giving it a good shove down with a spatula, just to make sure that it's going to start taking the shape of that tin. Once all your mixture is in, try smoothing out the top the best you can to make it level, and then you want to pop it in the fridge overnight. This is why a lot of people also call it a fridge cake. There is no baking involved. It's now the next day and I'm just removing my clips and pulling the Rocky Road out of the tin. Here you'll see the greaseproof circle on the bottom, and I'm just going to keep that on for now. As our card is laminated, it should peel away nicely from the set chocolate. And here is what it looks like. Traditionally, you would just pop this into a square tin or a lasagna dish for more of a tray bake style of shape, which you then would cut into rectangle or square chunks. But like I said, we've created this round cake-like shape as I'm going to cover it and disguise this as a mini Christmas cake. This is now nice and sturdy, and you can tweak this recipe into whatever flavour you like, throwing in Maltesers or munchies or chopped up Mars bar. The possibilities are endless. Here is how it looks disguised as a cake with a Christmas Lambeth style finish. Again, the tutorial will be linked below if you want to check that out. But now let's see it cut. This is of course Rocky Road, so it will be much firmer to cut than a cake, but here are the insides. Lots of yummy, squashy marshmallows, smooth ganache, the crunch and slight saltiness of the digestives paired with the sweetness of the cranberries, and that butter rum gives it a real Christmas boozy kick. This whole thing disappeared in a few days as we couldn't stop eating it, and I have even made much more since. Let me know if you give it a try. I would love to see your tags over on Instagram, and I'll see you again in the next one. Merry Christmas, guys!